Put Does in your washing machine. Finest Does you've ever seen. Bigger news now when you sing. D-U-Z does everything.
And now Does brings you The Guiding Light, created by Erna Phillips.
Yes? Put him on, please. Rollins? Well, what did Bertha have to say? I see. Yes? You asked her, did you, if she'd be willing to testify? Afraid? Of whom? Of me? Did she say that? I didn't think so. Well, that's understandable, isn't it? After all, Meta is Bill's sister. Do you think she'd make a good witness? Oh, don't worry. When she phones you, she'll answer in the affirmative. Oh, you'd like to be more certain, would you? Well, I think I can arrange that. No, I don't intend to talk to her. Is it necessary that you have that information, Rollins? Personally, I think you'd be better off without it. What you don't know won't bother your legal ethics. No, one thing more, Rollins. I've had a long talk with our housekeeper. I think you will find her more than a satisfactory witness. Between Bertha and Mary, I'm sure we'll be able to change the judge's mind. Yes, yes, of course. Goodbye. Not sure of Bertha. Well, we'll fix that in short order. Would you ask Mr. Bow to step in my office, please?
For the first time, Ted, since the court awarded temporary custody of Chucky to his mother, do you feel optimistic of the ultimate outcome of the divorce suit? Why do you want to see Bill Bauer? What is it you have in mind, Ted? We'll learn more about this in a moment. For whitewashes without red hands, the swing is back to Does.
Authentic door-to-door interviews prove it conclusively. More and more women who've tried some of those no-rinse chemicals for their wash are going back to Does. Listen to these reports. June 19th, first call.
Mrs. L.R., mother of 2 children. Husband repairs furnaces, has heavily soiled work clothes. She washes 3 times a week in machine, rinses once in hot water. Has tried some of the no-rinse products, but her hands couldn't take it. Came back to Does for really white washes and real kindness to hands.
Next call.
Mrs. B.A. answered door, was ironing a stack of men's shirts, all beautifully white. Uses mother's washing machine, rinses twice. Has tried many washing powders, but always comes back to Does. Likes the way it treats her hands and is proud of her white Does washes.
Authentic interviews like these prove the swing is back to Does for white washes without red hands. So if one of those no-rinse chemicals is making your hands suffer on wash day, then climb aboard the Does bandwagon.
Only Does of all leading wash day products contain such great quantities of rich, real soap, combined with 2 active detergents.
That's why Does gets clothes so white and clean, while it gives extra safety to colors and almost toilet soap mildness to hands. Does does everything for white washes without red hands. Get Does today.
Sit down, Bill.
Thanks.
I haven't had an opportunity to talk with you since you got back from San Diego.
That certainly was a wild goose chase you sent me on.
Well, it was purely speculative. I told you that.
I know, but those people hadn't even thought of changing agencies. And frankly, I don't know why you sent me. I was working on something in the office, something important, and for no reason at all, bingo, San Diego.
Excellent experience for you, Bill. Excellent.
I can do without that kind of experience. But you're the boss.
Anything particularly wrong this morning?
No, why?
You seem somewhat disgruntled.
Well, I was about that San Diego business.
How's Bertha?
Okay, I guess.
You're a pretty lucky man.
I suppose some people would think so.
You have a lovely wife. And she's intelligent, too. I saw her briefly the other day.
You did? She didn't say anything to me about it.
So there wasn't any reason why she should, really. During our very short conversation, she did mention something that seems to be upsetting her a bit.
What do you mean upset? What about?
Well, I've mentioned this before to you, Bill, and I'm sorry to have to mention it again. You're drinking.
Bert said that I... You mean she's worried about...
Well, let's put it this way, Bill. You've never been a drinking man. You yourself told me that.
That's right, and you told me what I did away from the office was my business.
I don't want to interfere in your personal affairs. But I like you, Bill. I only hope that what is happening between your sister and myself won't in any way make any difference in our relationship.
Well, that's pretty much up to you as I see it.
I'd like to do something for you, Bill. Something constructive.
You've done too much already, Ted. I think you know by this time that I don't like to be indebted to anyone, financially or otherwise.
Yeah, you've a great deal of pride. And that's commendable. I've given some thought to the responsibility you've assumed. I had hoped your responsibility would be more or less of a challenge, an incentive.
Well, I don't know how you could have figured that out.
Well, to many men, responsibility is an incentive. It makes for drive. However, we are not all made alike. What is one man's meat is another man's poison. I've about reached the conclusion that responsibility is slowing you down, so to speak.
Well, you're wrong. In the first place, Ted, and get this straight, I've never been one to shirk responsibility.
Perhaps my choice of words isn't too good. Some time ago, I recognized that you had real ability. When I had you transferred from research to my department, I knew I had not been wrong in my estimate of you.
It's nice of you to say that.
And it's about time I gave you some concrete proof of my belief in you.
Well, that really isn't necessary, Ted.
No, I think it is. Of course, I hope that what little drinking you might be doing is merely temporary.
I resent that remark.
I'm sorry, old man. I intended no offense, I assure you. Perhaps you know that a number of our men are under contract.
Yes, I do.
I'm seriously considering putting you under contract. For our benefit as well as your own.
What?
Competitive agencies are always on the lookout for good men. And I'd like to make your present position attractive enough for you to discard any idea you might have of making a change.
Making a change? Where'd you get the idea that I wanted to make a change?
Well, you never know.
I'm not that good, and you know it.
You've done very well. Very well indeed. I hope to talk to our legal department shortly. See if we can't work out a contract for 5 years, preferably, with the usual cancellation clause, of course. A contract that will be satisfactory both to you and to the agency. And you can expect an increase in salary.
I don't get it.
What do you mean?
I haven't forgotten your little visit with Bert and me a couple of weeks ago. The day you found out that Maid had filed suit for a divorce. Ted, you said a lot of things that evening, and I'm not likely to forget them. To be very honest with you, when you called me in a little while ago, I expected to be fired.
Good heavens, man, what gave you that idea?
The court decision. I understand Maid had been given the custody of Chucky.
Temporarily.
Yeah, it looks to me permanent.
Is it necessary to discuss later?
I think it is. I'd like to know why you're offering me a contract when only a matter of days ago you told me you were paying me more than I was worth. Ted, you practically told me the only reason I was holding on to this job was because of Maida. You even threatened me. Not openly. But you have a way of intimidating people. You wanted me to talk to Maida, ask her to forget about the divorce, and you were pretty mad when I told you I wouldn't interfere. I was surprised you didn't fire me right then and there.
I lost my temper. I said a great many things I didn't really mean. I'd like you to forget it if you can.
That won't be very easy, Ted.
Oh, come now, Bill. You're acting like a child. I was wrong. You were right. Now, it would be stupid of me to permit my personal problems to in any way influence my judgment in business, wouldn't it? You're an individual apart and away from me. You've been trained here with us. You're one of us. I know you've done your level best to talk sense to Maida. I should have known at the time that no one, not even you, could change her mind about a divorce. I went off the deep end, and I'm genuinely sorry. Is there anything more I can say?
No, I guess not.
Now, what about this contract?
Well, if you mean what you say, Ted, frankly, I'd like nothing better. I'd at least know where I stand.
Naturally.
But what made you change your mind about me?
I really haven't changed my mind. I'm carrying through as I would regardless of my domestic difficulties. Of course, I must be honest. I feel, Bill, that this concrete evidence of the agency's faith in you will give you a greater feeling of security than you've had in the past. Financial security is important to everyone. And no one who feels too insecure can do a good job. At least, not the kind of job of which he's really capable.
I guess you're right about that.
Well, shall we shake on it? To 5 years and more of a pleasant and beneficial association.
Act now, or you'll miss Duz's big bargain offer. Steak knives of quick-cut stainless steel. You'd regularly pay $2 for 4 of these knives, but Duz offers 4 for only 50 cents and 1 giant economy-size Duz box top. Or for 3 knives, 10 50 cents, and 1 regular large-size box top. Either way, get Duz for white washes without red hands. Yes, if your hands are suffering from one of those no-rinse chemicals on wash day, change to Duz. Do it now while you can get your steak knives. Their sharp, hollow-ground blades easily cut steaks and chops. Their beautiful, simulated mother-of-pearl plastic handles really dress up your table. For 4 knives, send 1 giant-sized Duz box top and 50 cents. For 3 knives, send 1 regular large-sized box top and 50 cents in coin with name and address to Steak Knives, Guiding Light, Cincinnati 1, Ohio. But hurry, offer expires September 30th. Good only in continental United States and Hawaii. Send today. An upset Bertha and a bewildered Bill Bauer, each with a problem, in the next episode of The Guiding Light, brought to you by Duz.
Put Duz in your washing machine. D-U-Z does everything.
This is Clayton Collier wishing you good day and good dozzing.